teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Um, I'm just gonna be on. You see, I'm on Cenat stream, and on YouTube he has over 200,000 people watching right here. As you can see, just gonna pause it, and then I'm gonna get off of this fucking stream. So hopefully they don't take this video down. But almost 700, almost 750,000, 730,000 are watching between Twitch and YouTube here. Let me go ahead and get on the blue letter and just close that out. But you saw the numbers right there, right? This generation is cooked. This lesson is not going to be that long, all right? But you got the apostles and the elders going live multiple times out of the week. Of course, on their days where they camp. I'm in the Atlanta camp. We go live, whether it be between Akim, who just do random lessons, or whether it be at camp. We got 5 different camps when we on camp day. So that's multiple different platforms, like, YouTubes that are streaming all at once that day. At least 7 channels are going live that day, and just in the Atlanta camp in general. And we be getting like 2-3 people watching, and it's probably other bros from GMS watching. But you telling me you got almost 1 million people watching some bullshit? The streaming stuff, the apostles and elders are the trailblazers of the streaming. The apostles and the elders are the trailblazers of YouTube, of Daily Motion, things of that nature, of uploading videos on the web. Apostles and elders are the trailblazers of that, because the Spirit is with them. And the Spirit always is the trending topic. Always. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I don't even care if you don't believe in nothing. The Spirit is always. And when I'm talking about the Spirit is what Yahushua left us with when you read John 14th, 15th chapter. What he left us with the Comforter. That is the trend. That is the divine entity. The Spirit is what sets trends. Okay, and what the Spirit set the trend of was uploading videos on YouTube and going live off of YouTube. Esau had to combat us going live off of YouTube by putting these random ass GMO babies, okay, like Apostle Rachel likes to say, these random ass GMO babies on stream. That's the only way they can combat this truth. And as you saw right there, there's 700,000 of these cracked out ass babies watching this stream, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous. This generation is cooked. So that brings me up to this Mark 8. I'm gonna start at like 34. This is the generation. This is the generation that is spoken about in the scripts. This generation. It's absolutely trashed. Okay? It's absolutely gone. And this is the generation that, sold their souls for nothing. All right? So this is Mark chapter 8 and 34. It says, "And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Do you really think Kai Cenat, Speed, Aiden Ross, and all these new up-and-coming pieces of shit, like, denied themselves? No, they chose themselves over Yahushua. They chose that route. You got what they call the crash out boys going crazy, which is Dean the Great, okay, and Adrian Broner, okay. So it goes on to say, verse 35, it says, "Whosoever will save his life shall lose it." And in the form of, you got to understand, whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. These streamers are thinking that they are doing something good for themselves, okay? Which is in the form of them saving their own selves, saving their life. because they think they were in a worse off position, so they had to take this deal and think they're in a position that's good. I watched a little bit of this, and there's a streamer that went up there. There's these two bitches that got an award here today on that stupid shit, and they literally said, "Man, Kai Cenat, let God bless you because you blessed us with this opportunity to be." You what you saying? Kai bless you on an opportunity to be on some dumbass streaming? That's all streaming is. You got to do stupid shit to get views, and that's exactly what Kai has done. That's exactly what Speed has done. I Show Speed has done. That's what all these streamers are doing. They got to do stupid shit to entertain this trash generation that we're experiencing. What is this, Gen Zers or something like that? It says, "But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the Gospels, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world," which they think they're gaining right now. Which, no, I technically, no, yes, Salakia, please forgive me, Yahbashim Yahshai. Yes, this is correct. If he shall gain the whole world, yes, they did gain the world. This world that we're in, the world, the society, in the world that Esau has conjured up, they have gained that. Absolutely. That's why when you read, matter of fact, let's go to Matthew. Man, this generation is cooked, bro. Let's go to Matthew 6. Okay. Matthew 6. Let's see. Yeah, Matthew 6 and 5. It says, "When thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are." Hypocrite, a person who indulges in hypocrisy. Hypocrite. Okay, let's get the word hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, the act of claiming to hold moral standards or beliefs that contradict our actual behavior. Okay? So actors, that's it. So, but it contradicts your moral behavior. Ooh. Let's get a quick precept. Because all you Israelites are contradicting your moral behavior, according to Romans 2 and 13. It says, "For not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. For when Gentiles," right, you streamer university niggas, y'all are Gentiles. Okay, you're uncircumcised and you're heathens. But you're Israelites. Kai Cenat's an Israelite, but he's acting like a heathen, and that's what he is. If it quack like a duck, walk like a duck, it's a fucking duck, right? Call a spade. All them little sayings. Okay? So Romans 2 and 14, and I'm going to get to my point and tie all this together. I'm sure a lot of y'all know where I'm going with this. It says, "Which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law." Right? You do by nature the things contained in the law. Who does by nature the things contained in the law? Gentiles. Because you're Israelites. So you can't help but have a certain nature about your fucking selves. You're Israelites. So you do things unknowingly, subconsciously, according to what has been written and coded inside of you. What is written and coded inside of you mean? Your fucking DNA. So all you Kai Cenat, I Show Speed, your DNA is written to be an Israelite. And you can't help but do Israelite things, even though you're heavily laden with fleshly activity. There's still spiritual individuals. I consider myself to be a spiritual individual who I believe, that's for another topic. Personal conversations with other brothers. But anywho, I believe other brothers around me are spiritual individuals. So we could see spiritual things that you do that you can't understand that help us spiritually understand you're Israelite. We're not going off of what you look like and things of that nature. Israelites can look like anything because we understand that we were spread out. That we're spread out everywhere. Okay? First Peter 1:1, Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered, and those strangers are Israelites. Scattered, the word scattered means occurring to or found at intervals or various locations rather than all together. Do you think Israelites are all together? No, we're not. We're everywhere. So it says to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. So we understand right there, that's just one of many precepts that you can pull out to show how the Israelites are scattered. So we can tell by how your spirit that you're an Israelite, but you're a Gentile. So going back, it says, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, because Cenat and y'all don't got a law, bro, because y'all don't carry yourself accordingly. But you're still hypocrites because y'all are Israelites, because you do by nature the things contained in the law, because you can't help it because it's in your DNA. These, having not the law, are a law unto themselves, because you do by nature the things. You got an inclination. Inclination. It says inclination is generally a preference, natural tendency, or a physical slant. Okay? It's a natural tendency. That's what Romans 2 is talking about. You do by nature the things contained in the law because it's written inside of you and you can't help but act a certain way. That's how we know y'all are Israelites. Okay? So going back to the word hypocrisy, the act of claiming to hold moral standards or beliefs that contradict your actual behavior. You are doing this streaming shit because you're a hypocrite, because you're acting and claiming to hold those standards of what you're doing. But really, a written code is already inside your spirit that you are contradicting, because what your actual behavior is to be an Israelite. But you're doing all this other crap because you're so consumed in your flesh. Now, going back to Matthew 6, it says, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love praying standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets. These dudes who are on streaming services have done a form of prayer or supplication or begging to get where they are now. And what does Yahushua said? That they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Cenat, I Shall Speak, Duke Dennis, all these motherfuckers have their reward, taking us back to Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world? They got their reward. 700,000 people viewing them. That is their reward. They have gained the entire world. So let's continue Mark 8. It says, in law and lose your own soul. And that's exactly what they did. They have paid the price of losing their integrity as of an Israelite. They have lost their written code of an Israelite, because that's what you are. You gave that away for absolutely pennies on the dollar, if not nothing, nigga. Verse 37 says, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Because your soul is priceless. Because the scriptures say, no man shall buy thee. Only Yahushua can buy us back. You can't sell the soul. You can't sell something that you didn't even buy. You can't do it. You can't do it. How can you sell something you didn't buy? If you buy something, that means what? You own it. You don't own your soul. But all these other streamers and stuff, they sold their soul thinking they own it when they really didn't. Now they have received their consolation. But for what? Absolutely nothing. That's what the Lord is saying here. You sold it for nothing. It says, verse 8, it says, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, which this is the generation we're living in, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Like, he's going to come back. And then you're going to burn. But all them 700,000 or whatever watching, you're cooked. That's the generation of vipers that's spoken about in the scriptures as well. They're cooked, bro. This is over with. It's over with, So that's all I had. These streamers are just a combat by Esau to what we've been doing. We've been streaming before Kai Cenat, before I Show Speed, before all these other idiots who got a phone and a platform. We've been doing this. And this is the only way Esau can combat everybody else from watching us. Now they got to watch them. And they've received their consolation. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone, and rolling teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Till the next time, we say shalom, and like always, repent for Yahweh Shai's coming back sooner than what me and you believed. All right, shalom.